Hey, what's up? It's Panzercoots here, back with some more World of Warplanes. And I've been grinding the Tier 8 multi-role, the Hawker Tempest, recently. And I can say I've had a few nice moments with it. It's a very nice aircraft. And some of the key highlights is its ruggedness. It's just very tough. A lot of times I was still surviving, even though I thought I really shouldn't have. Head-to-heads with heavies and just kind of like trying to get that last kill, trying to get that last ground target. And somehow I escaped with like 20 HP. And I think a lot of other aircraft of this tier you just wouldn't survive. Another thing that's nice are these bombs. They're not too powerful, especially pre-specialization. I don't have any even equipment on them yet, but they're good to take out an AA emplacement where the two bunkers are close to each other. As you'll see in some of the replays, if you have one where the two bunkers are spread apart and the gun in the middle, one of these bombs won't do it. So I try to avoid those. But the biggest thing with the bombs is they're 60 seconds. So by the time you're dogfighting, before you know it, they're back up. So that has really helped out a lot. And I can honestly say in the Tempest, I've captured the most bases and the most capture points of any aircraft that I've ever flown. Multiple games, I have like 7 bases capped, 790, 800 capture points. And I just don't really put up those kind of numbers. But with this, it's just a capping machine. Obviously, if you find yourself against a vampire or something like this, there's nothing you can really do. You can't, unless they're low HP or something, you can't really get away from them. But aircraft like the energy fighters, you definitely have a better turn time than them. You can outturn Mustangs, as I'll show in one of the clips. Even most multi-rolls, you can definitely outturn. So pretty much you can outturn everything you're going to see except turning light fighters. And to me, that's a pretty good deal. Energy fighters, you can at least put up a fight. And I think the biggest thing for that reason is you can just go so slow. You can 140 stall speed and 240 optimal speed. Whereas you look at something like a vampire, 160, 270, not too much difference. But you can definitely go slow, 140, but look at that, 300. That's 60 uh, kilometer per hour difference. Something like the P80, 300. So if you can catch them, if you can slow them down and not let them use their speed, like if they try to turn as tight as you can definitely get on their six. But enough talking. So I have a couple clips to show you. One is the bomb trap. I explode a GA. Second, I get two enemies to crash into a mountain, dodging it myself. And the third is just a straight up dogfight with a P51H. So let's go right into those. So here we are in this battle. I'm in the Tier 8 Tempest, and as you can see, there's an IL-20 right in front of me, piloted by WAM-1. And we go back a couple years when I was first grinding the 262. We would always come in contact because he'd always be in the IL-20. And we would face each other so much that we would just start joking around. I would only fire rockets, or I would tell him, hey, I'll go in front of you, try to snipe me. So it's been kind of fun going back and forth. But in this case, I'm in the Tempest. And his move was always to bomb trap me. So many times he bomb trapped me, I would try to get away, but I wasn't able to get away in time. So same kind of thing is happening here. But I'm gonna slow it down for you. So I'm coming in. He's already at 1,000 HP, right? And he's waiting for me to get close. And there you are. Do you see those? You see the two bombs he just released? He's done this to me so many times, but I'm smart to it now, so I'm not gonna fall for it. I see those two bombs drop, and I'm like, no, 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 not today, man. So I pull up right away, and I'm able to avoid that huge blast. So credit to me. And then I'll slow it down again. And I'm thinking, what if I return the favor this time? So I see he's just kind of going straight, right? He's going for this. So I'm thinking, can I drop my two bombs and bomb trap him? So as you can see, I'm lining up, and I'm just trying to guess where are these bombs gonna land. I need to throw them ahead. I need to drop them ahead. So you'll see, right? Okay, I just see the two bombs I dropped. So they're gonna land right around that center little house there. And I'm just hoping that's gonna be enough. Bombs are dropped, and if he was higher HP, this wouldn't have worked. Obviously, GA are resistant to bomb explosions, but he's being whittled down uh, by these two guys over here, the C-Fang and the LE9. So it just all kind of perfectly went in my favor. So I drop my bombs. He's being whittled down. They land pretty much right there, and boom! Man, that was just too perfect. I can't say I've really done that before, and it actually worked out. So I type in real quick, "Oh, I finally got you," you know. And then at the end of the game, you know, he gives that LOL. So it's all in good fun. But man, that was a really cool experience. And this was my last game in the Tempest for the night, so I decided not to play after that. But it was just pretty cool experience just to have that happen. To actually everything worked out perfectly where I was able to do it. So I'll forward this, and I'm just thinking, all right, this is where we're going to uh, come up, right? But they just keep getting another one, so there's no way I can. I'm just like, okay, this game is kind of lost. I was gonna come into this one, but now I'm thinking I need to go ahead. But as I'm doing that, I notice the heavy fighter here, and I notice the multi-roll behind me. So you see he's locking onto me. He's locking onto me, and if I try to do a turn right now, they're both going to be able to get on me. So I'm thinking, what? Look at my surroundings. Oh, I know I can kind of dip into this. So I'm gonna slow it down. So I decide to just dip into here, and they're both going to chase me. So the idea is I dip in here, I turn. So as I turn, they can't fire at me, and then I pop up on this side, right? And I get pretty low here. I almost crash into this rock. But look what happens to the multi-roll. I guess they didn't see the rock formation there. The multi-roll crashes, and then the heavy crashes. I was just like, what the hell? I was expecting them to come over this rock, and then you see I pop up right here. Pop up, maybe get the multi-roll off my tail or something. But somehow they both managed to crash into the rock. You can see the smoke right there. So I'm like, hey, that's a win for me. And then I'll just forward it so you can see the end of the game. I'm like, maybe if I can get this real quick, I can do this. But you see how long it's taking me? See how the heavies just fly away from me? And these guns aren't the best either. And that's the biggest downfall I had with this aircraft. Another heavy comes in, I dodge, I'm down to 32 HP. Somehow I survived that. And my guns actually hit right here. Look how much damage they're taking off. In the Tempest, I was hard pressed to take out ATA with one burst, which I think in a multi-roll. And now there's that ground target with 30 points. I drop a bomb, and I know that's going to take care of the job. So all this is happening, and I'm under like 50, 60 HP the whole time. Whereas I think a lot of other multi-rolls or even fighters, you know, I would have been dead a few times over. So this plane is tough. This plane can take a beating. You can outturn up to Mustangs, like I'm going to show on another clip. You have bombs that reload quickly. They just don't do a lot of damage. And I think that's the best you can do. I mean, that's the best you could ask for in a multi-roll like this. And I'm just hoping maybe if I can get this this airbase, somehow I can turn this around. I didn't realize that they were 770. It was only going to be over in a few seconds. But I'm focused and I see the IL-10. Let me just get this IL-10. I get him, but then, of course, it's another heavy that just vectors in behind me. And that's pretty much the game there. As you can see, that ME-209 held the center for the longest time, and the IL-20 did some good work. And I didn't have too many hit personal points, but five plus sectors captured. I think I captured like 7, and I did like 790 capture points altogether. So it was a good battle, and that funny thing happened, and it just showed like how tough this plane can be. And even not specialized, I'm able to cap way more bases than in any heavy or light fighter. All right, so here I am in the Tempest. I'm going to be in a dogfight with the specialized P-51H, and this just shows, even though it's a multi-roll, it's not the best in maneuverability, you can still dogfight with up to Mustangs. Anything more maneuverable than a Mustang, you can't really do the regular turn fight. But considering how tough this aircraft is, considering the bombs reload, I think it's a pretty fair trade-off. Most things you can deal with. Only like yaks, uh, you know, 109s, those kind of aircraft, you're not going to be able to deal with. You're not fast enough to get away. You don't have enough firepower, so there's basically nothing you can do. You just have to avoid them. But with something like this, you have a chance. So the first merge, he has more HP than I do. I took some off, and I'm not the best turn fighter here, so see, I overturn. I don't get a good angle. My wing is out. I'm in enemy territory. We make another turn. I don't even know if I landed anything. I do another turn. I overturned again. I'm down to 25 HP. And right there I notice his engine's out and he's not repairing it. So I'm down to 20 HP. So I know that if he doesn't have his engine, he's not going to be able to climb. So on this turn, I, I go a little bit higher. See, I climb a little bit further up. I delay the turn to force him to try to climb a little bit more. And in doing so, he's not able to keep up tight as a turn as I am. And I lead, and I'm able to win that dogfight with only 20 HP. At the beginning of the dogfight, it was enemy held territory. So it always sucks to be fighting in an enemy held territory with a bunch of enemies around, because even if you kill the one that's in front of you, something else is just going to slot in behind you. But that just goes to show an unspecialized Tempest, you at least stand a chance, or you can dogfight with aircraft up to Mustang. So I would say like maneuverability, like around 10-second turn time, around 70-ish rating. Anything into the 80s, you really can't turn with them. So to conclude with my little Kunzer scale here, I rate 4 attributes out of 5. So the first, altitude, is going to get a 4 because it's definitely above average. The second is speed. It's not very fast. You can't really use that to your advantage, so it's kind of just average. The firepower, it's 3 out of 5 because I wish the 20s will do more damage, but they're kind of just average. The bombs reload quickly, but they're not powerful themselves, whereas other multi-rolls have bombs and rockets. And lastly, the turning, it's definitely above average. Give it a 4 because you can outturn a lot of energy fighters, boom and zoom fighters that you meet, and pretty much all multi-rolls. And you definitely have to use that to your advantage. You can't really use the speed. So if we add all those up and we give it a score out of 20, we get a 14, and that falls under the Das Gut category. And I definitely agree with that. It's a good aircraft, and all this is pre-specialization. So I don't know if I'm gonna specialize it. Yeah, I really want to get the Hunter, but this was a good step, and it's a good mindset to really be in the multi-role, to just always try to cap stuff as opposed to just looking for aircraft to destroy. When you see uh, high tier enemy light fighters, you want to avoid them. So I had a pretty decent time grinding this, and yeah, it's pretty good. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna go on to the Seahawk. Haven't heard great things about it. I may want to skip it and go straight to the Hunter, but I will see how far I get with that. But anyway, this will be it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.